Hermes was no ordinary child. From the moment he was born, it was clear that he was destined for something extraordinary. He was born in a cave to the nymph Maia and the mighty Zeus, king of the gods. This humble beginning did not reflect the greatness that lay ahead. Maia, known for her beauty and grace, raised Hermes in the solitude of the mountain. She nurtured him with love and care, away from the prying eyes of the world. However, this tranquil upbringing did little to curb Hermes's innate mischievousness. His playful spirit was evident from the very beginning. Even as a babe, Hermes possessed an unquenchable thirst for adventure. He was always curious, always eager to discover what lay beyond the confines of the cave. He yearned to explore the world beyond the cave. The vast landscape called to him, promising endless possibilities and adventures. Little did Maia know that her son's playful nature would soon lead him to pull off one of the most audacious feats in the history of the gods. His mischievousness was not just a child's play, it was a sign of his cunning and intelligence. Hermes was destined for greatness. His journey was just beginning and the world would soon come to know his name. He was witty, cunning, and blessed with a charm that could disarm even the most suspicious of individuals. These qualities made him a force to be reckoned with. These traits would serve him well in his escapades, pitting him against gods and mortals alike. Hermes was not just a god, he was a legend in the making. One day, Hermes' gaze fell upon a herd of cattle belonging to his half-brother Apollo, the god of music, light, and truth. An idea sparked in his young mind, a mischievous prank that would test the very limits of his cunning. Under the cloak of night, Hermes crept out of the cave. He tiptoed past his sleeping mother, his tiny footsteps making no sound. Reaching the meadow, Hermes used his quick wit to devise a plan for driving away Apollo's prized herd. With surprising agility, Hermes drove the cattle away from the meadow. He led them on a winding path, careful to leave no trace of their passage. His plan was daring, his execution flawless. Hermes, ever the strategist, took great care to cover his tracks. He led the cattle across rocky terrain, ensuring their hooves left no discernible prints. He even had the foresight to make the cattle walk backward, further confounding any potential pursuers. Reaching a secluded grotto, Hermes hid the cattle, his heart swelling with pride. He had successfully outwitted the great Apollo. But Hermes, ever cautious, knew his triumph would be short-lived, unless he could maintain the illusion of innocence. Confident in his deception, Hermes returned to his cave. He slipped back into his cradle, feigning sleep as the first rays of dawn illuminated the sky. He was ready to face whatever challenges his mischievous act would bring. Apollo, upon discovering the theft of his beloved cattle, was enraged. He set out to find the culprit, his divine intuition leading him to Maia's cave. As Apollo questioned Maia about Hermes' whereabouts, the infant god feigned innocence, his swaddled form radiating an aura of pure naivete. Unconvinced, Apollo pressed his case, his suspicions growing with each passing moment. It was then that Hermes, in a moment of divine inspiration, decided to test the honesty of a nearby mortal, an old shepherd named Bados. Hermes, using his powers of persuasion, convinced Bados to lie for him, promising him a handsome reward. Little did Bados know that his integrity was about to be tested by a god in disguise. Section 5. A musical confrontation. Apollo, unaware of Hermes' side deal with Bados, offered the old shepherd a reward in exchange for information about his missing cattle. Torn between Hermes' earlier promise and Apollo's offer, Bados succumbed to temptation and revealed the location of the hidden herd. Furious with Bados' betrayal, Hermes punished the shepherd by turning him into a stone. With the truth revealed, Apollo confronted Hermes, demanding the return of his stolen cattle. A tense standoff ensued, a battle of wits between two divine brothers. Hermes, refusing to admit defeat, challenged Apollo to a contest of music. Apollo, confident in his skills as a musician, readily accepted the challenge, unaware that his young half-brother held a secret, a creation that would forever alter the course of music itself. Section 6. The Lyre's Enchanting Melody. In that moment of confrontation, Hermes unveiled his latest invention, the lyre, a beautiful instrument crafted from a tortoise shell and strung with cowgut. As his nimble fingers danced across the strings, a melody filled the air, so enchanting, so captivating that it brought a hush over the world. The music flowed from the lyre like liquid gold, weaving tales of mischief, adventure, and the beauty of the natural world. Apollo, mesmerized by the sound, found himself utterly charmed. His anger melted away, replaced by awe and admiration. Never before had Apollo heard such music, so full of life and vibrancy. He realized then that he was in the presence of a true prodigy, a god whose cunning was matched only by his artistic brilliance. Section 7. A Promise to Return. Apollo, enchanted by the lyre's music, proposed a trade. He offered Hermes his entire herd of cattle in exchange for the magical instrument. Hermes, ever pragmatic, readily agreed. He knew a good bargain when he saw one. And so the two gods reconciled. Apollo, delighted with his new instrument, promised to share his gift of prophecy with Hermes, a gesture that solidified their bond as brothers. The stolen cattle, a point of contention moments ago, were now forgotten. However, before returning to Mount Olympus, Apollo made Hermes promise to never again steal from him, especially not his prized bow and arrows. Hermes, with a sly smile, agreed to his brother's terms, leaving Apollo to wonder about the sincerity behind those mischievous eyes. Section 8. Hermes returns to Maia. With the lyre in Apollo's possession and the cattle returned to their rightful owner, Hermes made his way back to his mother's cave. The journey through the dense forest was long, but Hermes was filled with a sense of accomplishment and excitement. He regaled her with tales of his adventure, his words punctuated by laughter and a hint of pride. Each detail was shared with enthusiasm, from the clever tricks he played to the moments of tension and triumph. Maia, though initially shocked by her son's audacity, couldn't help but be amused by his daring feat. Her surprise quickly turned into admiration as she listened to his animated recounting. She recognized in Hermes a spirit of boundless energy and a cunning that belied his tender age. His cleverness and bravery were beyond what she had expected from someone so young. She knew then that her son was destined for greatness. The realization filled her with a mix of pride and a touch of concern for the challenges he might face. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the cave walls, Hermes settled down beside his mother. The warm glow of the setting sun created a serene atmosphere, perfect for reflection. He was weary from his adventure, but his mind raced with possibilities. The day's events had sparked a fire within him, a desire to explore and achieve more. He knew that this was just the beginning, a taste of the many adventures that awaited him. The future was wide open, and Hermes was ready to embrace it with all the vigor and curiosity he possessed. Section 9. The Trials of Apollo. Meanwhile, Apollo, overjoyed with his new lyre, rushed back to Mount Olympus, eager to share his newfound treasure with the other gods. Little did he know that Hermes' mischievous spirit had rubbed off on him, albeit unintentionally. As Apollo proudly strummed the lyre, showcasing its divine melodies, he failed to notice the mischievous glint in Hermes' eyes. Unbeknownst to Apollo, his journey back to Mount Olympus marked the beginning of a series of hilarious mishaps, all orchestrated by his cunning half-brother. From misplaced sandals to disappearing chariots, Apollo found himself at the center of a series of comical situations, each more outlandish than the last. And through it all, Hermes, the unseen puppet master, watched with glee, his laughter echoing through the halls of Mount Olympus. Section 10. More adventures await. And so, the tale of Hermes, the mischievous messenger god, continues. His story is one of intrigue and excitement, filled with moments that captivate the imagination. His cunning wit, his daring escapades, and his knack for turning every situation to his advantage are just a glimpse into the extraordinary life of this beloved Olympian. Hermes is not just a messenger, he is a master of trickery and a symbol of ingenuity. From his humble beginnings in a secluded cave to his audacious theft of Apollo's cattle, his journey is nothing short of legendary. Hermes proves time and again that he is a force to be reckoned with. His cleverness and resourcefulness make him a formidable figure in Greek mythology. His story is a testament to the power of wit, charm, and a healthy dose of mischief. These qualities have endeared him to both gods and mortals alike. But Hermes' journey is far from over. Each step he takes leads to new adventures and challenges. The world of gods and mortals is vast, filled with wonders yet to be discovered and challenges yet to be overcome. The landscape of ancient Greece is rich with stories waiting to be told, and Hermes, with his insatiable curiosity and boundless energy, is ready to face them all, one adventure at a time. His spirit of exploration knows no bounds. The story will continue in future videos, stay tuned. There are many more tales of Hermes and his exploits that await your discovery.